this video is all about sketching quadratic graphs. In order to be able to start watching this video, make sure you know how to first complete the square and also how to solve a quadratic. So I have previous videos on these two topics on my YouTube channel, so feel free to check these out and then come back to this video. So first we're sketching quadratics. And yeah, this is a quadratic. There's a square term, a single letter term, and a number term. And a quadratic is either a U shape or an N shape. If the x squared term is positive, it's going to be U-shaped. If it's negative, like negative x squared plus 7x plus 12, like this, it's going to be N-shape, okay? And when we sketch a quadratic graph, we have to figure out three things. Let's say I have my set of axes, and I draw a U-shape. We need to know three things in order to sketch. We have to know where the line crosses the x-axis. We call these the X-intercepts. I'll label that as red. So red is the X-intercept. We have to know where it crosses the y-axis, so the y-intercept. And the last thing we have to know is the vertex, or the turning point, or the minimum or maximum point. So I'll call this the vertex, okay? So we have to find out these three things in order to find the equation of a line, okay? Let's start with the y-intercept, because that's quite easy. So I'll do, so boom. So in order to find the y-intercept, the y-intercept is always the constant, the number by itself. So in this case, our y-intercept is positive 12. Boom, all done. To find the x-intercept, you're going to get the equation x squared plus 7x plus 12. You're going to set it equal to 0, because to find our x, sorry, I should have made that in red. To find your x-intercept, you're going to get your equation and set it equal to 0. Okay, we set it equal to 0 because the x-intercepts are on the point where the y-coordinate is always 0. So we set it equal to 0, always. And we're going to solve this. Okay, well, it's a quadratic. So in order to solve a quadratic, you must factorize it using the column method and make sure the other side's 0 first. So yes, it is. I'll use the column method. So what times what makes x squared? Well, x times x. What times what makes 12? 3 and 4. Double check. Oh, 3x, 4x, 7x. Perfect. So x plus 4, x plus 3 equals 0. X plus 4 equals 0. Minus 4, minus 4. Minus 3, minus 3. X equals negative 3. And those are our x-intercepts, negative 4 and negative 3. The last thing we have to do is find our vertex. To find the vertex, all you're going to do is you're going to complete the square, okay? So you have to know how to complete the square. So x squared plus 7x plus 12. So how do you complete the square? You open up a bracket. You grab one of these x's. You half 7 to make positive 3.5. Square and bring that 12 down. 3.5 squared is 12.25. To get from 12.25 back to 0, you minus 12.25. So it's x plus 3.5 squared plus 12 minus 12.25. Simplify that. X plus 3.5 squared. 12 minus 12.25 is minus 0.25. And our turning point, the y-coordinate, is going to be the outside term, negative 0.25. The x-coordinate is going to be the opposite of 3.5, so negative 3.5. All right, so we have our y-intercept, we have our x-intercepts, and we have our turning point. Now we can sketch it. Just for our grid, we know the y-intercept is at 12. So x, y. We know the x-intercepts are at -4 and -3, so -4, -3. And we know the turning point's at -3.5, -0.75. So -3.5 is here. And we can say -0.25 is here. So that's that coordinate here. We can draw our line. Boom, boom, boom. And that's it. So y-intercept is always the constant. X-intercept, you get your equation, set it equal to 0 and solve it. And since it's a quadratic, you have to solve it by factorizing. And to find the vertex, you complete the square. Next page. Here, sketch this out. Well, all right. So y-intercept, it's the constant, so it's 4. X-intercept. Get our equation. Set it equal to 0. Okay? It's a quadratic. And we have to solve it. To solve a quadratic, you must factorize. Perfect. That matches. So 2x plus 1 and x plus 4, 0. -1/2, which is 0.5 here. And those are our x-intercepts. Vertex, we're going to complete the square. So whenever we have to complete the square and there's a number in front of x squared, we have to factorize it out. So get that 2 out. X squared. 2 times 4.5x makes 9x. 2 times 2 makes 4. We'll grab one of these x's. We'll half 4.5. Oh, no, we did. Squared, and then bring down that plus 2. 2.25 squared is 5.06. 5.06 back to 0 is minus 5.06. Minus 5.06. We'll simplify. So minus 3.06. And then last step, make sure you multiply the outside terms together, okay? Two times 3.06 is negative 6.12. So negative 6.12. Okay, so we can sketch it. All right, the y-intercept is 4. X-intercepts are -4 and negative 0.5. And our vertex, I should write it down, is negative 2.25 and negative 6.12. So negative 2.25, negative 0.12, which is here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, boom. That's how you sketch it. Next one, this one's funky. Well, you see brackets, let's expand our brackets first. So we're going to use FOIL. So first, x times x plus x squared. Outside, x times 10. Inside, last. So basically our equation is y equals x squared. 10x minus 7x is positive 3x minus 70. Cool, so our y-intercept equals the constant, so negative 70. X-intercept, we have to factorize this. So we have to solve this. X squared plus 3x minus 70 equals 0. We have to factorize it. But the thing is, it's been factorized already. So that's been done for me. I can use my column method if I wanted to, but it'll just be this anyways. 0. So something minus 7 is 0. X is 7. And something plus 10 equals 0. Minus 10 minus 10. X equals negative 10. Those are the x-intercepts. Last thing, we're going to find our vertex by complete the square. So grab that x down, half that, bring that down, 1.5 squared is 2.25. 2.25 back to 0 is minus 2.25. And simplify. So our turning point is the x coordinate is the opposite of that, so minus 1.5, and then negative 72.25. We can sketch. So the y-intercept is negative 70. The x-intercepts are 7 and negative 10. And our turning point is negative 1.5, negative 72.5. So negative 1.5, negative 72.25. So there, so we have one coordinate here, one coordinate here, one coordinate here, one coordinate here. And it looks like that should be more like a curve shape. All right, last one. Ooh, y equals negative x squared plus 9x minus 18. Okay, same as before. Y-intercept is just the outer term, negative 18. To find the x-intercept, you get your equation set equal to 0. Okay, it's a quadratic. To solve a quadratic, you must factorize using the column method. So think of two terms that make negative x squared. Well, negative x times x makes negative x squared. Think of two numbers that make negative 18. I don't know, negative 2 and 9. Negative x times negative 2 is negative times negative is positive, so that's going to be 2x. Here, 9x. Together it makes 11x. Equals negative x squared plus 9x minus 18. So same as before, to find the y-intercept, it's just that constant, the final term, so negative 18, easy peasy. X-intercept, also very easy. You set your equation equal to 0, and you solve it. All right, so it's a quadratic. So in order to solve a quadratic, you must factorize it using the column method. So dung dung. Think of two numbers that make negative x squared. Well, x times negative x makes negative x squared. I think of two numbers that make negative 18. I don't know, negative 3 and 6. Then x times negative 3 is negative 3x. negative x times 6 is negative 6x. Negative 3 minus 6 is minus 9x. So no. All right, let's try something else. Let's try... let's try 6 and negative 3. 6 times negative 3 is negative 18. 6 times x is 6x. Negative x times negative 3 is positive 3x. 9x. Perfect. And that matches the middle term. So it's x minus 3 and negative x positive 6 equals 0. We'll get the first one. X minus 3 equals 0. Something minus 3 is 0. Well, x must be 3. That one's very easy. And negative x plus 6 equals 0. Well, minus 6 minus 6. Negative x, that cancels out, equals negative 6. Negative x means negative 1x. So x is being multiplied by negative 1. We're going to divide by negative 1. So x equals negative 6 divided by negative 1 is 6. And that's that done. Then we're going to complete the square to find the vertex. So vertex. We're going to complete the square. So 9 is x. So negative x squared means negative 1 x squared. So we're going to factorize out that negative 1. All right. So negative 1 x squared. Negative 1 to positive 9. Negative 1 times negative 9 is 9x. So minus 9x, because negative 1 times negative 9 is 9x. And then negative 1 to negative 18 is times by positive 18. Okay, boom. We're going to complete the square, so grab an x, half that 9 to make 4.5 squared, bring that 18 down. Negative 4.5 squared is 20.25. 20.25 back to 0 is negative 20.25. Simplify. 18 minus 20.25 is minus 2.25. And then don't forget, the last step is you have to multiply the outside terms together, all right? Negative 1 times negative 2.25 is positive 2.25. So our vertex will be positive 4.5 and 2.25. So what do we know? We know the y-intercept is negative 18. We know our x-intercepts are 3 and 6. And we know our vertex is 4.5, 2.25. Oh, 5, positive 2.25. So we have one coordinate here, one coordinate here, one coordinate here, and one coordinate here. So I guess it kind of looks like this. Oh yeah, it's an N shape because it's negative x squared. Just like that, and that's it, okay? So remember, whenever there's a number in front of x squared, you want to factorize the negative 1 out. So you take it out. Negative 1 to negative 1x squared, you times by x squared. Negative 1 to 9, you times by negative 9x. And negative 1 to negative 18, you times by positive 18. And that's it, guys. You can practice.